welcome everyone. Today we got 5 more comps to test out in set 4.5 that's currently out on PBE. The first one up is the new Vanguard Mystics. So here we got Neeko as our primary carry. This is our level 7 board. You pretty much always want a Neeko 2-star at level 7. And from there, you can either go for Neeko 3-star or you go to push level 8 and level 9 to put in legendaries. So once you go to push level 8, the big things you want is to take out, put in Orin for Braum. And you also want to add in an extra carry, which is either Set, Samira, or Yone. And then you also want to replace Yuumi with Zilean once you are able to do that. And then your level 9 board is going to be these 7 units, and then you pick 2 out of these 3. Same thing at level 8, your board is going to be this, and then you pick 1 out of these 3. Now there are a couple of different chosens you can go for. If you get a Mystic chosen, you can ditch Zilean to put in another good legendary like Yone. And if you get a Vanguard chosen, you can either go for 6 Vanguards if you see that there are a lot of AD units, or you can ditch, for example, Aatrox to put in another legendary unit once he's 2-starred. There's not any one super great chosen that you can go for. Got a lot of different options. Fabled chosen is also pretty nice, because then you can ditch the Nautilus, and then you can also, for example, again, ditch Aatrox to put in other good legendary units. Items for Neeko basically want 2 damage items, so you got like IE, Jewel Gauntlet, Death Cap can work, Hand of Justice can work, and also like Chalices here can work. Then the third item wants to be a mana item like Sojin or Blue Buff, or even Gunblade or Hosh for some healing. Defensive items like QSS and Trap Claw I haven't had that much success with, but they can also work if you can't find any of the other items I mentioned. Basically, this comp is played very similar to Vanguard Mystic from set 3.5. You pretty much stabilize at level 7 with your 3-cost carry, and then you push to go level 9, and then your win condition from there is just to put in the legendary units that can support your main carry, or you go for the 3-star carry to just go all in on Neeko. So next one up is going to be Brand Reroll. So for this one, you really want a Brand chosen, so then he's going to be either Dragonsoul or Mage. Your level 5 board is going to be this. Here you got 3 Dragonsoul and you got 3 Mage to let him carry pretty hard. The game plan of this is to slow roll at level 5 to go for a 3-star Brand. And then once you hit 3-star Brand, you either go into 6 Dragonsoul or 5 or 7 Mage, depending on which chosen you have and your specialist. Now for the items for Brand, you always want 1 mana item, and the 2 other items want to be damage items. So like Jewel Gauntlet is great because it gives you a very consistent DPS output. You can also go for stuff like Death Cap and Hosh for even more damage. Also, stuff like Ludens is really strong early game, but falls off late game. So if you find this, so if you can make Ludens early after you made your blue buff, it's a very strong item, but it doesn't really synergize well with Dragonsoul or Mage because it doesn't scale with them. So it's going to fall off later in the game. Now the next one up is going to be Brawlers, either 6 or 8 Brawlers, depending if you get a Brawler chosen. With the new update on PBE, the Brawlers get AD based on how many you have in, and so now they can actually be carries on their own. So there are 2 different ways of playing this. Usually, if you get 8 Brawlers, for example, you would usually take out Samir to put in the 8th one like this, and then you just have Severe cast as many times as possible to give attack speed and attack damage to the Brawlers. The other way of playing this is to have in Samira as well. So you get 2 Sharpshooter, and she's kind of a secondary carry. It works very similar with the Severe, just making her cast as many times as possible. The other way to play this is to go for Shyvana carry, where you stack her with items. This version is also pretty strong. It doesn't rely as much on Severe items. You can also take out these 2 to put in 3 Dragonsoul to buff her even more. Now items for Shyvana, she wants 1 healing item, which is going to be like either BT or Hosh, and or a defensive item like GA. The 2 others want to be offensive, so like Rageblade works, Deathblade works, Hurricane works, even like IE works, so you got a lot of different options there. Now when it comes to Chosens, like I mentioned earlier, 8 Brawler is really strong. Fabled Chosen is also pretty good, because then you can take out, for example, take out Severe to put in like either Neeko or Nautilus, depending on which one of them you found Fable. This makes Cho'Gath's ult incredibly powerful. You can also put in a Mystic chosen, so like if you found a Shen Mystic, or even like Zilean or Yuumi, that's also great, because then you give these pretty much the entire team just becomes more tanky, which is what this comp is all about. Now the next one up is Space Jam. Here you have the 6 core units. Then pretty much this is all about slow rolling at level 7 to get Darius 3-star. Now what your level 7 board will be depends a little bit on your chosen. Like if you get a Slayer chosen, for example, you can put in Olaf and Tryndamere. Take out Braum like this to get 6 Slayer in. Also, if you get a Fortune chosen, you can just pretty much just go all in, like take out Braum again, and then put in the Tom Kench and Katarina for 6 Fortune if you're feeling lucky. Now for items for Darius, you want 2 damage items and 1 defensive item, which are either going to be a healing or defensive item. The 2 offensive items are, again, Eye Angel Gauntlet can work very well. Also stuff like Death Cap and Ionic Spark works great. Hand of Justice works great, and Gunblade is also a very strong healing item for him. GA can also work as a defensive item. Also, putting chalices on units to buff them even more is great. Stuff like Zeke's also is great, and putting sparks on your front line is also great if you already have 3 items on your Darius. Now, late game, you pretty much always want to go into 6 Slayer, and you can also get out of Fortune by taking out Annie to put in, for example, Aatrox or Ornn. Then you can also replace Braum for stuff like Yone, for example. Now the next one up is Zed. This plays very similarly to how you played Zed on 4.0. So the chosens for this, if you get a Keeper Cannon chosen, you take out Rakan to put in either Yuumi or Irelia for either Adept or Mystic. Or if you get a Slayer chosen, you take out Darius for the same, either Yuumi or Irelia. So the game plan for this is to either slow roll at level 7 to get your Zed 3-star, or you just stabilize with this board with everything 2-star, and then you push to go level 9 or level 8. So at level 9, you pretty much want to be capped with, you add in Yone, Zilean, and then you also put in Azir over Rakan, and then you put your soldiers here. Now in terms of items for Zed, you pretty much always want RFC and Hurricane. You absolutely need those to play this comp. The third one pretty much always wants to be a defensive or healing item again. So QSS is going to be one of the better ones, but also stuff like BT or Hosh is also great for Zed as a third item. You can also run Akali as a backup carry if you do end up getting her 3-star. And very similarly, she really wants, like IE is great, blue buff is great, RFC is great as like a third item if you end up stacking her. Also like Gunblade, Death Cap, and also putting in Zeke's and Chalices, again, is great with this comp. Now the final comp is a very familiar comp, but this one is also great because it got a buff with 4 Enlightened since they removed Nami. Now they get even more mana. This plays very similarly. Instead of Lux, we have in Nasus or Swain if you can find him for 2 Siphoner. So now the itemization of Talon is a lot better since you never really want to go into BT or Hosh because you already get your healing through the synergy. The 2 core items for Talon are GA and IE, and you also want Morello for Morgana. The last item for Talon is going to be Last Whisper, Giant Slayer, or Deathblade. Even sometimes Hurricane can work, but these 3 are definitely preferred. So that's it for these comps. If you didn't see my last video, I covered for other comps with like Kayle and Tryndamere and Olaf and whatnot. These are going to be linked in this Imgur. I'll also link an Imgur in the description and on my Discord here with these comps as well. And if you want to see the patch notes, they're also in the Discord here. They're always getting updated as the devs update the PBE. Also, if you want to discuss the game and the new patches on PBE, you can also join the Discord to hang out with the other people there. So thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please leave a like. It would really help me out. And also, please consider subscribing to the channel. I'm going to post a lot more videos now with 4.5 as it releases. And also comment down below what video you want me to make next, because there's a pretty high chance that I will make the video if you request it down below. So other than that, I want to thank you for watching again, and see you in the next video.